Did you know that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein actually predicted modern biohacking and organ transplants?
When we imagine the birth of Frankenstein's monster, we picture lightning storms and creaky tables. But today, it would happen in a sterile biotech laboratory. Welcome back to Predicted Pages. This is video 2. Today's topic: how Mary Shelley's Frankenstein predicted biohacking, organ transplants, and genetic engineering. Before we dive in, comment below, should there be a limit to biohacking? Mary Shelley grounded her horror in the cutting-edge medical research of H&18. Her peers were deeply involved in the vitalist debates, arguing over what actually constituted life. They were actively studying galvanism, using electrical currents to prove that dead tissue could be physically reanimated. She took the science of her era and mapped out exactly where it would eventually lead. She wrote a highly accurate bioethical blueprint, warning us about the consequences of manufacturing artificial life. Today, those specific warnings are playing out across 3 massive frontiers of modern science. Victor Frankenstein bypasses traditional graves, cobbling together his creature from a mixture of human remains and animal parts scavenged from local slaughterhouses. He was assembling a physical scaffold piece by piece. This physical composition directly mirrors the mechanics of modern tissue engineering. Today, we build synthetic scaffolds and seed them with living cells to grow replacement organs. We even have xenotransplantation, where surgeons implant gene-edited pig organs into humans to address the critical shortage of human donors. But stitching foreign biology into a human body comes with unexpected mental side effects. Clinical psychologists report that modern transplant patients frequently experience a trespassing of identity. They develop severe anxiety, fearing they are losing their own sense of self because they carry the biological material of someone or something else. The monster in the novel suffers from a massive existential crisis because his hybrid origin denies him a stable sense of self. 2 centuries ago, Mary Shelley documented the exact psychological alienation that radical physical assembly inflicts on modern patients. I've been listening to the full Frankenstein audiobook on Audible, and hearing it in a modern narrator's voice makes the science feel even more real. This animation shows how a modern Victor Frankenstein would actually work. He uses CRISPR-Cas9 to cut and replace genetic code, manufacturing life at the molecular level. Using these tools to select non-disease traits, like eye color, shifts us from begetting a child to creating a product. Designing a person based on a checklist turns them into a manufactured commodity. If a parent's acceptance is based on how well the child fulfills these preset features, the relationship changes from unconditional love to a creator-creature dynamic. In 2018, these molecular tools were used to edit the DNA of human embryos, the first documented case of children born with predetermined lab-modified traits. This shift toward treating life as a product leads to a future of conditional acceptance. In the novel, Victor abandons his creature the moment it comes to life, simply because it failed to meet his aesthetic standards. He viewed his creation as a broken product rather than a sentient being. The danger in Victor's method lies in his total, unregulated isolation. He locks himself away, working in a vacuum far from the oversight of the university or the scientific community. That exact mindset is the driving force behind the modern DIY biohacking movement. People who call themselves biopunks are abandoning the safety protocols of big science. Instead, they perform radical self-experimentation in unregulated basement labs. Biohacker Josiah Zahner live-streamed himself injecting an unproven DIY CRISPR gene therapy into his own arm in his living room. These enthusiasts bypass clinical trials entirely, using mail-order biological materials to edit their own DNA without institutional gatekeepers. Pause for a moment and imagine a future where your phone assistant demands legal rights. This book already asked that question. The hubris of the lone genius operating in secret is alive and well today. Shelley mapped out how democratizing world-altering technology without enforcing basic ethical oversight leads straight to disaster. The true tragedy of the novel rests on Victor's cowardice. He masters the mechanics of life, but flees the moment he is required to provide his creature with care, fellowship, or community. As we enter an era where scientists are synthesizing minimal genomes and creating life from scratch, we have to recognize our obligations. Modern synthetic biologists are learning they must build biological fail-safes into their organisms. If we engineer life, we must exercise the ethical foresight to manage and integrate it. If you want more forgotten books that saw tomorrow coming, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe and ring the bell. Tomorrow, we crack open H.G. Wells' The Time Machine and how it mapped out the gig economy and class division 130 years ago. You'll want to hear this.